I've been doing these Tuesday morning calls for our offices across the country, and it's really just about leadership. It's about business. It's about helping people reach their goals. The purpose of the YouTube channel that I started back last year is simply to help change the world one leader at a time. I feel like in my life I had a lot of experiences. A lot of them were not so good experiences that I can pay it forward a little bit and help people grow through things and help you guys reach your dreams. So if you haven't got a chance to jump on YouTube, KLear channel, KLear channel, subscribe to it, like the videos. It would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you find value in this call, share it with other people, share it with your team, share it with your friends, and obviously, I'd encourage you to pass it along, pay it forward, pass on good things in the world. All right, so today's topic I'm going to talk about is thinking into results. Thinking into results. There's a quote that says, whatever the mind of a person can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Whatever the mind of a person can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So what I want to talk today about is the word desire. Desire, and how important it is in the world of being successful and reaching your dreams and reaching your goals. In my opinion, desire, just the energy around wanting to accomplish something, achieving something, making a certain amount of income, living a certain way, is a key component to being successful. It's like what gets people moving. And so my question is, the definition of desire is a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something in your life. And so my question is it a priority to you to be successful, to have a good life, to live comfortably financially, to have your bills on auto pay? Is it important to you to, feel valued at work, to get recognition for your efforts? So having a strong desire of wanting something or wishing for something. So I know there's a few people on the call that like history. Does anybody know the story of Hernando Cortez? The Cortez. Okay, I see one hand raised there. I know some people aren't on screen. So I'll tell you a bit of a story of Cortez. So in 1519, Cortez was a Spanish conquistador, I believe, that was coming across the big lake, the Atlantic Ocean, coming to a new world. And he landed in Mexico, where the Aztec Empire was. And for any of you guys that know history, the Aztec Empire was known as one of the strongest empires of that time. And Cortez, was he had taken 600 men from his homeland, and he was a conquistador. So the idea was that we're going to go to this new place and land there and take over in a way. And so what he did was he got all of his people off the boats. He got them onto the beach and going towards the Aztec Empire. And he stopped everyone on the beach. And he said, all right. And he had a speech about how they're going to, go to battle and they're going to take over the Aztec Empire. And of course, a lot of his men were scared. There's 600, there's thousands of Aztecians they were about to battle. And he had them turn around and look at the boats. And the story goes, the story is called Burning the Boats. So what he did is he had his people turn around, look at the boats that they just showed up to this land on, and he sunk them all. the history says he burned them, but he actually put holes in them and they sank. True story. But the idea was he was burning the boats. So why would he, Jason, I see you on the call this morning, why would he burn the boats? Like, how crazy is that?
To get rid of them.
Okay. But why would he do it though? Why would he get rid of the boats?
I would assume so they couldn't turn around and leave.
Right. There's no turning back.
Yeah.
It's either we win, you conquer, or we die. Right? Which is a crazy concept. And just coming across the ocean and coming to this new place. So there's no retreat. Because when there's a retreat, there's a back door open. And when I think of being successful, oftentimes starting maybe in a new organization, a new position, the commitment level of somebody new at something is very limited, right? Which is fine. They're starting something new, etc. But in a business like we're in, it's very interesting to me because, when people commit early, they commit to studying the materials, they commit to learning the systems, they commit to things that are important to doing well at a new job. Well, no kidding, they do great at it, right? No kidding that they become really good at the role. And in a business like we're in, it just means making money, right? I know we have someone in our office that came in and made $1,000 in commissions and bonuses in their very first week of learning the position, which is awesome. And so, keep in mind that every human on the planet desires to make money, desires to do well for themselves, and they wish for it. The reality is not everyone has it. Not everyone is able to do it, right? And wishing for things is not going to help you, not going to help you reach your financial goals, not going to help you, live the life you want to live. Actually creating plans around it and actually, starting to shift your mindset of desiring, the income you want, desiring the things you want, thinking about it first, and then becoming literally obsessed with what you want to accomplish, creating a plan around how to accomplish it, and then backing it up with a ton of persistence and a ton of work. That's how you move towards what you want. It just doesn't happen, right? Anyone who thinks that, I'm going to do great and live the life I want to live just because I show up every day, that doesn't happen. So what I want to give you guys is 6 ways to turn your desires, to turn that energy into what you want. So 6 tips. All right. So the first tip is actually setting the goal. So writing it down, if the goal is financial, write down the exact amount of money you want to make on a piece of paper, putting it down, and then thinking about it and be definite. Hey, I want to make, $2,000 this week. I want to make $4,000 or $8,000 a month. Whatever the financial goal is, I want to, move into a home by 2023, right? I want to move into a house by the end of this year. I want to turn my yearly income into my monthly income. Like, start talking about it, make it definite. So that's number 1, is set the goal. Number 2, determine what you're going to give to get it. So determine what you're going to give to get it. And this is a big aha for me in the last year. So I started to realize for some of my financial goals, things I wanted to level up and in different, areas I wanted to get to. I started to realize I had to put more good in the world. If I'm going to get the financial income that I want to, live at, and that's millions of dollars in overrides and consulting fees in the world that I'm in, monthly and yearly, and millions, like multiple S's. Like, I realized that I need to make a bigger impact on the world. the world's just not going to give me what I want just by doing what I'm doing right now. So that's a big reason why I started this podcast. Like I realized that I need to just give good into the world, whether it's, you know, people in our organization, whether it's people in our business, whether it's people that randomly jump on, you know, YouTube and watch some of these videos. I knew that there is never something for nothing. So you're going to have to give to other people. You're going to have a positive impact on other people on a massive scale if you're going to get to the level of income you want to get to. So that's number 2, is determine what you're going to give to get. Number 3 is establish the date you will obtain your goal. So actually put a finite date on by when you're going to hit your goal financially. So by 2020, by 2021, by 2023, you know, what by December of 2021, by, you know, August of 2021, whatever that date is, put a date on it. So that's number 3. Number 4 is create your plan. And this is where it's super key, in my opinion, to have a coach, to have a business coach. If there's nothing else in 2021, for you guys that are young into your careers, I'd encourage you to find a coach, someone that's you know, experienced 10, 15, 20 years in business, someone who is living the life that you want to live, someone who is treating people like you want to treat people, you know, has a business, you know, something. I'm not saying it's in our business. I'm just saying someone in your life that can be a coach, and that's a great example of what you want. And I would just open up and do your best to get guidance for them and follow their lead. You know, successful people want to share their wisdom with people that are up and coming. I ran into my, you know, Edgar was at the gym this morning with me, and I ran into my buddy who's, you know, in the NFL. And I talked to him today about maybe coming on our YouTube channel in a couple of weeks. And he's like, yeah, I'd love to. I love paying it forward. And it's just like a certain attitude of people that have done well. They love sharing it with other people. But create that plan and start today. The key is the action that you take. The key is the action that it takes. And even if it's far-fetched, so if you put on your goals, hey, I want to make $20,000 a month by the end of 2021. That's awesome. You may be making $4,000 a month right now. There's nothing wrong with setting your dreams and shooting for the stars, right? So that's number 4. And then number 5, it says, write a clear, concise statement of the amount of money or goal you attain, and state what you will give in return. So the saying, if you guys have never done this before, and some of you guys have heard of this through Michael, one of my business coaches, the saying goes something like this: I'm so happy and grateful now that I have. I am so happy and grateful now that I have. And maybe it's now that I have an income of $20,000 a month. Or I'm making $100,000 a month. My yearly income is my monthly income. I'm getting promoted to run my own office. And I'm sharing my wisdom with people that I love the most. But I'm so happy and grateful now that I have moved into my own home. I'm sharing my experiences with people that are newer into their careers. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm married and have children. You know, there's so many goals that you can have in your life, right? So many things that you can accomplish. So I'll give you an example. One of the ones I wrote in my notes, it says, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have 3 new owners, getting promoted to senior national, and making $1 million a month in overrides. You know, I'm so happy and grateful. I'm putting my state of mind, I'm thinking forward, right? So that's number 5, is write a clear and concise statement down Number 6 is probably the most important thing. Read your statement out loud. Wake up in the morning and before you go to bed. Read your statement out loud when you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed. And so what you're doing essentially by having this daily practice is you're essentially moving the messaging into your subconscious mind. And you're working your belief system. So again, the first thing being successful is believing it can happen. Believing you can accomplish. And without belief, there's no action. Right? So you literally have to trick your mind. If you've never learned how to do this, the schools we all went to, at least for me, they never really taught me how to think. They gave me a lot of knowledge, which was all very good, about history, about how to do math, about how to look at biology, how to do chemistry, all a bunch of knowledge, which again was good to learn. But I didn't really take a lot of classes about how to think properly, how to get my body moving and my emotions around accomplishing goals. And this is what this is all about, is getting the thinking mind, thinking into results. And in history, there's a lot of people that we can look at and we can study. And I'm sure everyone is, and if you haven't heard of the story of Thomas Edison, if you ever turned on a light, you'll know what Thomas Edison created. But the story is, it took him 1,000+ attempts to get the light right. So he had this deep desire, this deep understanding, this deep burning thought process that it was going to work. Imagine how he felt after 176 attempts, or how even more so, 450 tries, 800 tries at getting his light bulb right. And then he hit it right over 1,000 attempts. He got the light bulb right. Right. And so, and again, and you can think of anyone in my family. I think of people that I look up to, and in business, and people I've read about. They always talk about you have to be patiently persistent when you're moving towards your goals. But you have to understand, how to believe in yourself. So again, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have waking up in the morning, get you in the right state of mind to start your day. You do it at nighttime before you go to sleep. It works your subconscious mind and just gets you in a good state. And it's interesting. I was listening to the radio going to the office yesterday, and on I don't know what it was, like 97.3 or something. I forget what radio station it was. But some random radio station in the car, literally the little infomercial came on. It was the main DJ, and he's like, okay, so just give it my 3-minute corner to help the world be a better place. And he said, before you go to bed, write down things you're grateful for. Write down 3 things. And he did basically the gratitude thing that I talk about. He said, when you wake up in the morning, do the same thing. And then he went over, it's proven through studies that you will actually sleep better when you go to bed with the right state of mind. It's proven that you'll have a better day if you wake up with the right state of mind. So again, this is very similar things to what he was talking about. And I'll tell you guys, about 2-3 years ago, I really, really adopted this philosophy. I got some mentoring and coaching from some of my business coaches. And for those guys that don't know, me and know the history of our organization or our story, but I've had a lot of ups and downs, probably more downs than most people in business. And 2-3 years ago, I was on a pretty tough low in business. And, I was, for a long time, a lot of personal things are going on. I was very negative. I was blaming other people. I was thinking about my situation and that it was just me. No one else had to deal with these challenges. outside forces, outside people, and again, I take a lot of pride in how I think, and it really, really was hard. And I realized after going through and learning this stuff, the reality was the reason why I hadn't moved towards my goals and I hadn't, really hit some of my real goals that I had for myself was because I was preventing myself from doing it, that I was getting in my own way. And so I really shifted my mindset from the anxiety filled, the helplessness filled, the pressure, the frustration side of things, and all those negative energies. And I really made the conscious choice of shifting it to appreciation and gratitude. And so I remember sitting and doing what I'm talking to you guys about day in and day out when things were not going my way for months of time. And I literally convinced myself that what I was needing to learn and what I was doing, that I would realize that I had to level up. Like the reason why I wasn't reaching my goals like I wanted to, reason why I was getting knocked down like I was because I wasn't the person I needed to be. And I got very humbled by it. But I also got very excited because I realized that when it was on me, then I'm in complete control. I can't control anyone else. I'm in complete control of what I can accomplish. And so I said this statement, a statement very similar to this every single morning for months and almost a year to kind of get myself rebuilt. And I started focusing on learning. I started focusing on leveling up my mindset. I started appreciating the challenges I was going through. I started getting better at being present with my family. I started getting better at being prepared for my business. And as I started doing these things, little by little, I started making progress. I started making positive changes. And sure enough, over the course of time, things have improved. And then next thing you know, we have, some new opportunities with this, retailer that we're working with. And next thing you know that, this pandemic hit, and I started thinking about, man, I just went through all this craziness over the last 2 years. And I feel like I can offer people some things. And through the pandemic, for you guys that we worked together throughout this thing, we made some gutsy choices on staying the course and still doing our thing. And we spent a lot of time developing our staff. We spent a lot of time leading our people, getting great people on calls. And we spent a lot of time helping others leveling up. And then sure enough, mid-year, things start changing a little bit. And all of a sudden, this opportunity takes off like a rocket ship. And, and so I think about how that kind of, there's something called it's called the law of gestation. If I'm getting that right. It's the idea that there's a period of time that something is gonna, kind of be growing, kind of like a butterfly does in a cocoon, right? So if you have my kids running out in the backyard and they say, oh, look at these beautiful butterflies. And then if I try to convince Brady or Mason that, yeah, just so you know, that wasn't a little cocoon, it was a worm, right? No, what is a butterfly before?
Caterpillar.
The caterpillar. I was like, it's not a worm. I was like something else. Yeah, it's a caterpillar. And I see some of you guys smiling. You'll realize I'm really not that smart. I'm smart at things I know. I'm not smart at things I don't know. but the reality is, right? It's a caterpillar. And if I get Mason outside at 5 years old, he's like, well, hi, Daddy. What's this, Daddy? What's that? He's like, he always talks to you guys. And he's, oh, yeah. So this morning, he's like, hey, Daddy, just so you know, my teacher, she just got back from Florida. She's been there for a couple of days. And I'm like, that's awesome, buddy. We'll go to Florida this summer. He goes, okay, cool. But how do you convince a 5-year-old that a caterpillar, oh yeah, the caterpillar is going to it's going to get into a cocoon, and then it's going to evolve itself. And then over the course of a period of time, it's going to fight its way out. And then the arms are going to build, and the wings are going to build, and the legs are build. And then over the course of a period of time, this cocoon opens up and a beautiful butterfly comes out. Like, how do you convince a 5-year-old of that? They're not gonna know, right? But the reason why that caterpillar is in the cocoon is because it takes time for the caterpillar to have its evolution, right? So the caterpillar is not going to be able to fly if the cocoon's open too early. And so I felt like for a period of my career there, I went through a lot of struggle, a lot of challenges. And I know that has prepared me to be doing what I'm doing now and what I'm going to be doing in the future. And so again, you have to appreciate those challenges, appreciate those times of struggle. And again, I tell you, I didn't. I really took it personally. I was really upset about it. I was frustrated. But when you appreciate it, you're able to kind of learn from it. And so remember, again, today we're talking about desire, desiring to accomplish, desiring to make the income you want to make, to feel appreciated at what you do. There's a certain level of emotion that has to go into things to reach your dreams. So I want to give you guys some homework. And listen, this homework's really for you, and it's for you and your goals. It's not something I'll even ask you about. But if I were you, if any of this stuff resonates with you, if any of this is is really something that you think can help you have a better day, have a better week, have a better month, what I would highly, highly encourage you to do, number one, is write your statement. Write your "I'm so happy and grateful now that I," and then fill it in on what you want, on what you desire. I see, John, you have your goal card there, and it's exactly that, right?
Yeah, it's exactly that.
So do you mind sharing what yours says?
Sure. So mine says, I'm so happy. So this is for December 25th, 2021. So the end of the year. I'm so happy and grateful that I run a top office on the campaign. I promoted out my first deal, and we're doing 20K weekly wires and growing a opportunity machine. And I keep this in my wallet.
Awesome. Awesome. You know, it's interesting. I still have the one I wrote from a year or two ago. Let me see if I can find it here. I actually put it in. Actually, I don't want to rip it. I don't know if it's there. You know what?
I
don't
last
have it here.
goal
Go
card
ahead.
too, was when I started off in the field. I made one saying I'll get promoted to management by Halloween of 2018, and I ended up getting promoted to management in Thanksgiving. But it's just funny how like literally 20 days apart, 30 days apart.
Yeah. So awesome. So my first bit of homework for you guys is write your statement. Write down what you desire. It starts with that emotion. And then the second thing I'd action item is shift your mindset. Shift your mindset from anxiety, negative, frustration, and move it towards appreciation. So whenever you get challenged by something, you get challenged by a customer, you get challenged by a coworker, you get challenged by a family member, a parent, a sibling, a friend, instead of getting anxiety, frustrated, pissed, just say, hey, you know what? I appreciate this. I appreciate going through this. I appreciate learning how to handle this. Everything's going to be okay. Move it towards appreciation. So, and I'll leave you guys with this to kind of wrap up. I put in the hardest moments, I truly appreciate the opportunity to learn things. And in my opinion, those are the moments when you go through stuff and you go through challenges. Those are the moments that are really the building blocks, the stepping stones to helping you reach your goals. I have met very few people in my life that are really successful at anything, that it just was all easy. And frankly, if I ever met that person, I will probably tame it because it's a unicorn, right? And try to capture it and keep it and just try to study it and multiply it. You know what I mean? Because this doesn't happen. And unicorns do happen, for the record. They're somewhere. I will find them. So anyways, like I said, guys, desire, I want to talk about that today, thinking into results. Whatever the mind of a person can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So happy Tuesday. Thanks for jumping on today. Again, if you haven't had a chance to jump on the YouTube channel and like some of the videos and subscribe, I'd appreciate if you did that for us, and share it with anyone you feel that this would help them. Really appreciate you guys. And again, my goal and my dream is to help change the world one leader at a time. So I'm doing my best to do that. So happy Tuesday. You guys have a great week. Thanks for jumping on.